Every single month, more than 50 new AI models drop. 50. And honestly, most people have no idea which one to pick for what they actually want to do. I'm Mark, and today we're cutting through the noise because I'm tired of seeing people waste hours trying random AI tools when there's actually a pretty simple framework for picking the right one. So stick around, because by the end of this, you're going to know exactly how to evaluate any AI model that lands in your feed, and you'll stop feeling overwhelmed by the explosion. First, let's talk about why this is even happening. The reason we're seeing this flood of models is because the barrier to entry has basically disappeared. A few years ago, building an AI model required a massive team, millions of dollars, and access to crazy computing power. Now, you can fine-tune a model in your garage. You can take an existing model, tweak it for your specific use case, and boom, you've got something new to show the world. OpenAI releases something, Meta releases something, Google releases something, and then 50 startups think, hey, what if we make one specifically for dentists? Or what if we make one that's better at writing poetry? And honestly, some of those ideas are actually brilliant. But it creates this chaos where you're scrolling through Twitter and seeing a new model every 3 hours, and you don't know if it's a game changer or just noise. So here's the thing. You don't need to keep up with all 50. You really don't. What you need is a filter. A way to ask yourself some basic questions that separate the genuinely useful tools from the hype machines. Question number 1. What's the actual job you need done? This sounds obvious, but people skip this step constantly. Are you trying to write, generate images, analyze data, code, translate, summarize? Because here's the secret that nobody talks about. The best model for writing is not the same as the best model for coding, which is not the same as the best model for image generation. A model that's absolute fire at understanding nuance and language might be terrible at math. A model that's incredible at generating hyperrealistic images might be useless for coding. So before you even look at what's new, get clear on the job. Write it down if you have to. I need to generate product descriptions for my e-commerce site. Done. Now you've got a target. Question number 2. Do you actually need the newest thing? And I'm not trying to be a pessimist here, but this is where the hype really gets you. A newer model is not always better. Sometimes it's just different. Sometimes it's better at one specific thing and worse at 5 others. The model that came out last month might be 2% more accurate, but it might also cost 3 times as much to run, or it might have a weird interface, or it might be trained on data that's not relevant to your use case. Claude is incredible for reasoning and nuance. GPT-4 is fantastic for speed and breadth. Gemini is solid for multimodal work. Llama is open source and customizable. These are all proven tools. Sometimes the best choice is not the latest. Sometimes it's the one that's been battle-tested for 6 months and has a solid community around it. Question number 3. What are your constraints? And this is the one people really gloss over. Do you have a budget? Some models are free. Some cost pennies per use. Some cost dollars per use. That matters. Do you need something that runs locally on your computer for privacy? Do you need something that's fast? Do you need something that works offline? Do you need API access, or are you okay with a web interface? Do you need the model to be open source so you can modify it, or is closed source fine as long as it works? Write these down too, because a model that's technically perfect but costs $5 per query when you need to run it 1,000 times a day is not actually perfect for you. Question number 4. What's the evidence? This is where you actually evaluate the model itself. Don't just watch a slick demo video. Look for real comparisons. Are there benchmarks? How does it perform on standard tests? What are actual users saying in forums, not in the promotional material? Reddit is your friend here. Discord communities are your friend. People who've actually used the tool for real work will tell you what it's actually like, not what the marketing team wants you to think. Question number 5. Can you test it yourself? Most new models have some kind of free tier or trial. Use it. Spend 30 minutes with it. Does the interface make sense? Does the output quality match what you actually need? Does it handle edge cases? If you're evaluating it for writing, throw your worst, messiest prompt at it and see what happens. If you're evaluating it for coding, give it a problem that's slightly outside its obvious wheelhouse. Real testing takes an hour, maybe 2. It beats weeks of second guessing. Now, here's the thing I want you to understand. The model explosion is actually not a bad thing. Competition drives innovation. When there are 50 models competing, the good ones get better and the bad ones disappear. Prices drop. Features improve. specialization happens. You end up with tools that are specifically designed for specific jobs instead of one giant hammer trying to do everything. But the explosion does mean you need a system. You can't just try everything. You need a filter. And that filter is basically, know your job, understand your constraints, look for evidence, and test before you commit. One more thing that's actually useful, follow a couple of trusted sources. You don't need to follow every AI Twitter account. You don't need to be in 50 Discord servers. Find maybe 2 or 3 people or publications that you trust to give you honest takes on new models. Someone who explains what's actually new and useful versus what's just marketing. Someone who's not getting paid by the company that built the model. Someone who actually uses these tools. That way, the important stuff will reach you without you having to stay plugged in 24/7. The reality is that in 6 months, there will be another 100 models. And in a year, there will be 200. But the framework stays the same. Know your job. Understand your constraints. Look for evidence. Test it yourself. And you'll never feel overwhelmed again, because you'll have a way to quickly separate signal from noise. So if you found this useful, please subscribe. New videos like this drop every week, and I promise I'll keep breaking down the AI explosion in ways that actually help you figure out what to use and what to skip. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.